Hello, hello. Welcome to the live chat. Hello, hello. Okay, let's see. All right. I am good. I'm good. Sorry for the delay. But no, this time I didn't forget. I was just I had to put the AC on, even though it's winter. Sometimes when the sun is out, it gets really hot in here. So let me finish just one thing here. Yeah, I think I'm good. Now I got so many screens going on. I'm not sure which one to turn to. All right. Okay. Okay, so I got the mic on. I see that I'm talking. Uh yes. Don't worry, I'm not trying to gaslight you. There's someone else that's doing that. Okay. All right. Hello, Gladys is that Favors? And Francilia Mosley. Sherry Ware is here today. Connie Balmer. I'm sorry, I didn't say it right. Connie Balmer. Okay. Julia Rock, Jennifer Clark, Rochelle Bardo. I'm insecure about saying that. My point of view. Okay. Is there any other? I mean, really, is there any other point of view? Joseph Shelton, Anna Boyd, Anna Espinoza, Frida Bodin, Annie Bullard. Okay. This person, Lucy Wynn. Hello. Happy birthday, Cookies and Creams. It's the sheriff's birthday. Wow, that's so cool. Happy birthday. Let's see. Roseanne Campbell today is here. Worldwide birthday celebration. Kenneth Doug. Hey, Church Nelly. Diane Hawkins. Geneva Ash is here. Welcome, welcome. Let me see. C-Mac. Colleen Aberbar. Okay. Judy Regold is here. Cool. Okay. All right. 270 in no time. I like that. If you're on your lunch break, happy lunch break. Glad we can be here with you, right, Lucy Wynn? Right. Okay. Yes. Hi, Baron and Squaddies. Thank you for that. So, let the gaslighting begin. Where should I start? Where should I start? Well, as you know, William has been trending like crazy because of his comments. And then, of course, thanks to the backlash, they're trying to clean it up. And so now they're trying to say that we really didn't hear, or I'm sorry, didn't read an account from, okay, now which Dickie is it? There's Dickie Arbiter, no. Dickie Eden, no. Um, Dickie Palmer, yes. Richard Palmer is the one who, and if I was William, I would steer clear of anyone named Richard or Dickie because he always seems to get, well, um, that's what always seems to happen to him. Um, but it's not their fault. It's only because of who he is that what has happened. His core values is that very similar to his grandfather, although his grandfather could actually navigate a conversation when he wasn't being, too Edwardian, if you will, or too, or even too mid-century, if that makes sense to you. But William, I don't know that he has an excuse. William seems to constantly put his foot in his mouth. He seems to have a bit of foot and mouth disease. Um, William's conversation, well, let me put it to you like this: his conversation is pretty remedial at best. And also, I would say William's sense of humor is almost non existent. Any attempts by him to try to seem empathetic or try to be humorous always falls flat. Thank you, Madison Bonaparte. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. You guys, I really want to celebrate the Sussex Squad because you did it. You did it. You guys are the reason why things like this get so much um, airplay, is because the Sussex Squad was the one thing that the family over there in Narnia was not counting on. If it wasn't for the Sussex Squad, do you think that any of this stuff would have as much traction? Because of the Twitter warriors causing his I guess verbal gaffes to trend, it goes to the mainstream news. And that is the reason why um, he keeps getting caught out. It's because of the Sussex Squad. I'm convinced it's the squad because the mainstream media seems to be in the pocket of the royal family. We can never count on them to tell the truth, or at least to push the narrative so that other people would know how disgusting somebody like a William the Terrible can be. I mean, he does it to himself. So it's not that we're doing anything to him. It's what he's doing to himself. And so all we have to do is to make sure that his words and deeds are amplified. And in that, we can actually make sure that the story is told and that it is told properly and to the best of our ability. We have to make sure that we keep our receipts. So I have a few receipts that I kept, and I'm sure that other squaddies have. So even when they take these stories away from the mainstream media, when they delete these stories or try to rewrite them, at least we have the record of that moment when the story was actually released. And knowing the Daily Fail, when they release it, the grammar is off, the spelling is bad. And if I can catch grammatical errors or spellings eras, then you really messed up. So, but Lord Nappyhead's paper is always in such a rush to just get it out there that sometimes they just don't have the whole story. And he's not alone in that. The Daily Fail is not alone in that. There are other tabloid papers that are in such a rush to try to misinform or misquote that when they do get it right, then they try to come back and gaslight us and tell us, oh, no, that's not what we said. That ain't it. So before I go too far, let me take a look at a couple of your comments. William is very much like Putin, depending on media to generate news as truth. He will be the same kind of dictator as King. Mr. Burns can't wait to release the hounds on the world. Exactly. And because he has complete autonomy over everything that he touches, his little kingdom of Kensington Palace, everything seems to go his way. He keeps doing this, and I'm just wondering if uh, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir back there at the Kensington Palace, I wonder if they are truly doing him a disservice because they're all terrified and afraid to speak truth to power. We don't even expect them to do that, but at least give them some proper guidance. That's what you're being paid for. But that's not what he wants. He wants people to agree no matter what. And then when he tries to go out there and have a conversation with a bunch of volunteers or aid workers or anybody for that matter, he always falls flat, which is why I can't wait until this royal tour starts. So far, they've already canceled their appearance at the BAFTAs. And I'll talk about that later, though. Let me see. Out of the abundance of the heart, of the mouth, speak. Therefore, William can't help himself. Every time he opens his mouth, what's in his heart comes out. Exactly. Let me see. William is going to be the master of his own downfall. His arrogance is exposing him, right? He's no different to his uncle, that person. Karma had enough of him. I hate to say his name because for some reason it triggers something with the YouTube. So, yeah, I try to avoid saying his name because what happens is eventually, most times, should I say, they will monetize the video, but I have to appeal. And I kind of feel like I lose the early hours of possible monetization by waiting for that appeals process. So I really hate to even bother with that. Hello, all squaddies. Love to hear and listen to Baron's podcast and reading the comments. Good evening from the Netherlands. Shireen, I love the Netherlands. They're some of the nicest people there. Yeah, and everything is nice and flat. So, because of all of the, I guess, typography of the Netherlands, if one loves bike riding, that is the place to do it. Of course, I haven't been there in ages, but I do love it there. But yeah, fond memories of the Netherlands. Okay, Meghan and Harry. Oh, and let me say one more thing. I don't smoke. Anytime I say I went to Amsterdam, everybody goes, uh-huh. And they just kind of shake their head and smile. I don't smoke anything. So let me just make that perfectly clear. I'm not one of those tourists that goes running to the Netherlands for that. It was part of a much larger grand tour of Europe. So there, I put it on the record. Meghan and Harry put their money where their mouth is. Willie Leaks put his foot in his mouth. One podcaster showed a video of William telling one of the Ukrainians that they don't give money, we just give a wave and maybe a smile. I've seen that. Okay, thank you, Elsa Register. Thank you so much for the super sticker and happy Friday to you. All righty, thank you very much. Yes, actually, I have seen that video. It is quite interesting. And since we're on the topic, let's see if I can bring it up. There. Let's see if that works. Okay. I'll try to grab that one. Unfortunately, I have to do a screen share because it just would not work the other way. So let's go to a screen share. And let me see, am I sharing? Okay, there we go. I think that's working. Screen share. All right, you guys. I would say try to turn the volume up if you can, just in case. Let me see. I got everything where I need it. Almost. Okay. So yeah, let's make this happen. Screen share. Screen share. Okay, and still not sharing. Oh, let me get rid of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. That's why it's not showing. Aha, there we are. So let me try this. Line that up and play. I'm sorry we couldn't all the words on top of the whip. We all think you might do the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So sometimes it's not more than financial. Well, we can give you a small here and there, that's important. So, okay. I'm sorry we couldn't all the words on top of the whip. We all think you might do the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So sometimes it's not more than financial. Well, we can give you a small here and there, that's important. So, okay, there we have it. All right. Were you guys able to hear that? I hope so. Are you guys able to hear that? He said, sometimes we can only give a smile and a wave. That's about all we can do, is give a smile and a wave. He just said all that's about all we can do is give a smile and a wave. Seriously, from one of the wealthiest families in the world, they are only able to contribute a smile and a wave. I mean, it's just yeah, that's about all that they are able to do, um, was give a smile and a wave. And he's so I mean, that's why I say this guy is full of gaffes. He's full of gaffes. And that is one of the bigger ones, is that even though he's there to help, even though all he has to do is show a bit of moral support. Now, okay, so maybe a smile and a wave is what he's able to offer. But then, of course, there's the Duchess of Cambridge, who decided that she would try to cosplay. Let me see if I can find that from yesterday. She decided she would try to cosplay the Duchess of Sussex with her goodies. She brought sweets. So they couldn't contribute any money. They were supposed to be there to help pack up some relief. And of course, they were able to smile and a wave. And that was it. So they got brownies, something that looks like a calling card from the royal corgis, and a smile and a wave. So yeah, um, but this is the Duchess of Sussex. Some 2.5 years ago, was it 3.5 years ago, in Australia, bringing banana bread, which you can see on the slide to the left. And of course, it took the Duchess of Cambridge and, of course, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir about 3.5 years to come up with the idea to, I guess, mimic the Duchess of Sussex's behavior by bringing some sweets. And of course, when this happened with Meghan, that was at because this family was going through the drought in Australia. With the Duchess of Cambridge, it was, because of the war in Ukraine. So yeah. So anyway, that was it. She's just trying to mimic Meghan with that. So they got sweets, a smile, and a wave. Okay, moving on. So Richard Palmer is the guy who was the one that caused a great deal of trouble for William at the end of last year. I'm sure all of you guys remember that. Um, Richard Palmer is the one who, of course, the case against Queen Camilla. It means the public in Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and other realms have been deceived. I mean, this guy, I don't know. I mean, he's supposed to be a rotor. He's supposed to honor the invisible contract, but yet back in March of 2018, it means a monarchy built on lie by liars. 67% of the British public don't want her to be queen. Speaking, of course, of Camilla. Richard Palmer said that, back in 2018. And so here's Richard Palmer today with his somewhat, I guess he apologized for misquoting the Duke of Cambridge. And this is the video where you could barely hear anything when he tried to clean up or gaslight us by saying that, that one position that he had that day, that one job, was to tell us exactly what William said. So he says a new piece of video footage taken from a different angle appears to show. Oh, you know what? That's that's a different one. Hold on, let me get Richard Palmer up here. Hold on, got it. Okay, Richard Palmer. All right. I can't read that text because it's so small, but let me make it readable for me. Okay, the Duke of Cambridge on war in Europe. He doesn't appear to have compared it to conflicts in Africa and Asia. In the chaos, a remark he made was misheard, starting a social media storm. Apologies for reporting the truth. I'm sorry, reporting that online. That's what Richard Palmer said, right? And during his visit to the Cultural Center, there was a recording that they shared, which I think you could barely hear it. It was barely audible. And of course, it also was a little shorter in context, or should I say, in content, meaning that it wasn't as many words as what Richard Palmer had written. That's what it appeared to be to me. And so then other videos came out, but for some reason, with all the camera phones there, with all the press there, we were unable to find any better, um, I guess, voice recording of what was actually said. So not only is this gaslighting, but it's just a straight up snow job. Let's see. Anna Espinoza, the packaging and bag used to transport the unfortunate pastry suggests they were purchased and not paid for, and yeah, not paid for them. Cheap farce. Let me see. She would never do brownies. She would cover them with white chocolate. I don't think she's and her husband like brownies. Now, see you going there. Richard Palmer is a white jacket, black jacket. He's walking in the middle line. Little does he know that he can be bounced out straddling the middle line. Well, he's taking his risk, that's for sure. Anyone, because to have, I mean, it seems like he would have caught that before he put it out there. But just stand by. There's more. Anyone seen the article on the Irish Times paper? Mumbles was shamed for not attending the St. Patrick's Day event. Excuse was she had to go back home to Norfolk so Willie could attend instead. No, I didn't see that. Was Willie alone? Okay. So Jake Tappert, if you guys don't know who he is, Jake Tappert, I believe he's on CNN. He's a CNN correspondent, CNN anchor. Read a book about your own family, Jake Tappert said. Jake Tappert, of course, he's a big shot in broadcast news. Someone who I believe would probably not make the mistake of misquoting anyone. But let's say if that was even possible, I believe Jake Tappert believed it to be true enough that I don't know that Jake Tappert ever follows anything to do with the Royals, but he thought enough about this situation that he would tweet about it. And so not only is he telling William, you need to learn your own family's history, but then take a look there on the right. Only 22 countries have never been invaded by Britain. I mean, look at that map. There's only 22 nations on the face of the earth that has never been invaded by Britain. But most countries on the map, and probably, yeah, I would say every continent has seen some type of invasion or colonization from the British Empire. Just stay in the facts. That's what it is, and that's what happened. And so, again, William has no excuses. Every time they go to that cenotaph, they are acknowledging the fact that there has been a war in Europe. And 73 years ago, I think that was when the war ended, 73 years ago, that wasn't so long ago. That's what's so stupid about it. I mean, the whole thing is just stupid. And then they're trying to brainwash us, trying to gaslight us into believing that he didn't say that, given his pattern of gaffes or his truths, if you will. Okay, Diane Hawkins, you say the fact there were only 20 pastries suggests Billy dug into the bag and ate two of each since Diane, I'm starting to think that you don't have a very good opinion about William of Cambridge. Okay, so there you have it. So then, of course, the attack turns on Omid Scobie, and you guys, if you guys are a fan of Omid, you really need to pray for this guy because um, Omid Omid is has not is but has been under scrutiny for quite some time from the establishment. In other news, Prince Williams has been called out imperialist colonizer. Now, he said that in November 25th, 2021, after blaming African population growth. Now, look, that was not even that long ago. That was November of 2021. The Duke recent statement has been branded simplistic, racehorses, and out of touch by critics and leaders. William just got in trouble last November. And then fast forward to just a day ago, a couple days ago. Below is an extract from the pool copy filed to UK papers and PA after he covered yesterday's royal visit. Being the only journalist, Palmer's sole job was to share reporting to the outlets not present rather. There would be no royal beat without the pool system, right? And so right there circled, he said Britons were more used to seeing conflict in Africa and Asia. It's very alien to see this in Europe. We are all behind you, he said, but he added that he, like many, wanted to do more to help. We feel so useless, he said. Okay, that's from William, right? That's a William quote, according to Richard Palmer, right? And so here it is again. Same quote, the circled, and of course, Omid Scobie. This reporting by the NUJ representative was used by multiple outlets, including Daily Mail, which I have the receipt. I have a screenshot of the Daily Mail. Haven't printed that. Royal editors seem reliable to comment on hour by after others had reacted. When an ITV video showed Palmer paraphrase Asia Africa quote was wrong, I retracted my tweet and shared correction, which I hate that that's the case, but I think we got it right the first time. But okay, despite the origins, the spread of this inaccurate quote is now probably being put on others. Myself, Nadine writes, Bernice King, who is the daughter of Martin Luther King, she also shared that, as well as Jake Tappert, and let's see, and Dr. Shola by royal correspondent Hannah Furness, belonging to the very press pool responsible for it. Fake news indeed. And so right here is where Hannah Furness, the real problem with Prince William's racehorse comment, Ukraine comments, he didn't say them at all. So there you are, you have the official brainwashing can begin. And with that, let me take a look at a couple of your comments. Brainwashing. Brainwashing, gaslighting, snow job, whatever you want to call it, they're doing it. I love the way Jake Tapper, big time CNN news anchor, disrespected stumbles. Let them come to the U.S. and try to win friends and influence people against the Sussexes. Exactly, Vinny Blair. Let me see. William spends too much time in the palace. He needs to get out more. Then he'll know what's going on in the world. Worldwide birthday celebration. The Princess of Wales, Princess Diana, used to take the kids out to meet poor people, homeless people, even sex workers, whatever. The Princess of Wales wanted them to see a slice of reality. So he's had that exposure. I mean, let us not forget how proud he was to tell everybody in the world that he once slept rough with a black man. I mean, he talks about it. Yeah, I slept rough with a black man. Did you guys know I slept rough with a black man? I slept rough with a black man. He wants everybody to know it. And then when he got in trouble, old Martin Luther Cambridge somehow contacted the black man he once slept rough with to get him to tell the world that he's not that kind of a prince, right? I should know. I slept rough with him, and I'm a black man. I better stop before my neighbors can hear me. But he slept rough with him. So the whole point of this is that when William sleeps, he likes it rough. I think we can all agree upon that. Is that Wilma likes it rough? Okay. So that being said, every time I say rough, I don't know why I think I'm supposed to sing Proud Mary. Now we're gonna take the beginning of this song and we're gonna do it nice and rough. And that's the way we do Proud Mary. Okay, so William likes it rough. We all know that. Let's move on. Okay, no master. He has a bachelor's degree in geography. Yes, he's supposed to know better because he has a degree in geography and he likes it rough. Okay, the problem is too many people know he said it. To try to lie and say otherwise is so Russia. Russia says they are not bombing the Ukraine, right? Right? They're saying that they're not doing it, but yet they shot down several planes, right? There's hospitals that are in ruin, schools, any place where civilians would congregate, they have targeted that, and then they tell us, no, we didn't do that. That's not what's happening. So, okay. Anyway, let me get back to where I was, which was here, I think. Yes. So Dr. Shola has chimed in, and Dr. Shola has simply pointed out that there is a pattern that needs to be exposed. So if you go to The Voice, you can, I'll put that link in the community tab. But if you go to The Voice, you'll find that article by Dr. Shola where she just, talks about William's pattern of being William. I mean, plain and simple. That's all to it. She's going to call him out, and it's definitely worth reading. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Dr. Shola. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. No wonder. Okay. Okay, Dr. Shola. Let me see if I can find that article. Oh yes, there it is. It is in The Voice. Yeah, Dr. Shola tweets. Oh yeah, you can't see the tweet, but Dr. Shola tweets: Prince William wears casual racehorses. I'm substituting the R word, like he does his receding hairline. Visibly, it's time to call him out on racehorses. From Meghan Markle to his recent war is alien in Europe comment, he has a case to answer, right? That's Dr. Shola's quote. So Dr. Shola decided to go there with her tweet and, and say, anyway, that's the photo that's used for her tweet. So, as she said, visibly receding hairline. I didn't know Dr. Shola cuts up like that, but I like that. Oh yeah, yeah, Shaggy song. It wasn't me lying in the shower. It wasn't me. Caught me lying about black man. It wasn't me. Yeah, okay. I like that. Thank you for that, Denise Marcus. It wasn't me. Oh man, you all are on fire today. Okay, so next one. Now, here's a prime example of gaslighting, right? This is a prime example of gaslighting. Remember this? Charles tests positive for the pandemic for a second time, right? And then of course, Queen catches pandemic. I have to substitute the C word in castle outbreak. I swear that's a lie. There was no outbreak at the castle. You didn't hear anything about them doing any exceptional precautions at Windsor Castle. The outbreak was someone who came to visit the Queen. I'm not saying any name. Her Charles. Oh, excuse me, I sneezed. Her Charles. Oh, excuse me. My allergies. But anyway, the outbreak was someone who came to visit Charles, the Queen. And that person is likely, I can't say Charles officially is the one who exposed her, but I simply don't believe Charles there was a outbreak at the Windsor Castle. Do y'all believe it? Because I don't. I don't. I believe the outbreak was an overzealous I guess, subject of the queen, which can be someone at the castle, can be a member of the family. You know, when you're in the UK, you're a subject. So one of the queen's subjects likely had two things on their mind. One was, of course, um, becoming the future king. I mean, after you've waited all these years, how much longer are you going to wait? And so, since ringing the phone and yelling "boo" at the top of your lungs didn't seem to help, or using a blowhorn, one of those air horns like "hello," that didn't work, right? Yep, that didn't work. I mean, she's still there, right? So, if that doesn't work, then why don't we just go and have a little chat? Yes, I'm going to go and talk to Mummy, right? And so he went over there and talked to Mummy. And then next thing you know, the worst happened. And you know what? Gangsta Gan, the gangster that she is, you ain't going to take her out like that. I don't care uh, how clever you think you are. Gangsta Gan has lived through the war, and she's not easily dealt with like that, okay? This is a woman who has been routinely seen patrolling the grounds of Windsor and Buckingham Palace. You know, you're not going to take her out like that. So nice try, whoever, but it just doesn't work like that. Gangsta Gan knows how to take care of herself, which is why she has fully recovered and she is still performing her royal duties, right? So it didn't work, but nice try anyway. But Gangsta Gan, you know, as we all know, Queen Charlotte was most likely of African descent, right? And so some of that very strong, resourceful, resilient African blood is still lurking around that family, right? So because of that, the queen has a lot of inner strength that even she's not able to calculate. And so, in spite of the fact that someone thought that she was easy pickings, turns out that she wasn't. You know, so next, all I can say is nice try, but it you know, I think that he's out of his league. This is one sister that you ain't gonna take down that easy. It just ain't gonna happen. So thank you, Yvonne, for the super sticker, and happy Friday to you. And let me see. Okay, thank you, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So, Gangsta Gan survived. So when that didn't work, you know my other theory. one was to, get the new job as soon as possible. The other was to turn that you know what into a queen, the emotional support Camilla. So, of course, my theory is that while the queen was going through her red box, she thought she saw Philip, Philip, Philip. And when she looked for Philip, enters the document into the red box. The queen wasn't paying attention. She signed it. And next thing you know, we find out that this is the future queen consort, something that, according to, what was it, Richard Palmer, was not supposed to happen. But guess what? It's happening now. All because the queen thought she saw Philip. Okay, moving right along. Where was I? So that is gaslighting. Queen catches COVID. Oh, I said the C word. Catches the pandemic in castle outbreak. Oh, that was the first time I slipped and done that in castle outbreak. So again, I blame this guy. Let me see. Saw that one. Okay. Well, allegedly that guy. All right. Next one. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Where are we? I did that one. Got that one. Okay. I love this photo of Charles winking his eye like that. That is too funny. What about this one? Oh no, is that the screen share? Yeah, that's the screen share. Let me get rid of screen share. Don't need that. Didn't work out too well anyway. And okay, I think that one's last. Well, let me try this one anyway. Nope, that one's last. It's this one. Okay, there you have it. So, Richard Palmer is the one who said that this young man kissed the Duchess of Sussex on her cheek during the last round of royal duty as a working princess of the realm. This kid was supposedly somehow planted a cheeky kiss on the Duchess of Sussex. That turns out to be false. And so Richard Palmer had to backtrack and he said a new piece of video footage taken from a different angle appears to show there was no cheeky kiss from the head boy, a lovely young man, when Meghan went to school in, what is it, Dagenham. Um, Mistakes do happen, and this appears to be one by the journalist there on behalf of the UK media. So Richard Palmer had to take that back, but he was very quick to, report something that he had no knowledge of. And by the way, I'm not the one blocked by Richard Palmer. At least I don't think so. I got that from somebody else's Twitter account. I've never engaged with his account, so he would have no reason to block me. But I think I should give him a reason. Okay, so this was that occasion. As you know, it was a very popular visit by the Duchess of Sussex. And of course, they couldn't leave popular alone. They had to try to figure out some kind of way to taint it by making it seem like it was something lurid and provocative, which of course it was not. It was just simply um, a school kid embracing the Duchess of Sussex. There was no kiss. There is no overactive libido from a child of color. I wonder if that was the underlying narrative, is that this young man of color just couldn't contain himself or whatever. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was absolutely disgusting. You're right, Sherry. You were so right. It was disgusting, because the tabloid media has a way of destroying lives. And even though this is a young man, he's a young man of color. And Lord only knows what would have happened if they would have thought that to be true. They would have found some other kind of way to twist and connive the story to make it sound like this kid moved to California or something like that, or relocated to Canada at the time. So, okay, Baron, it just came out that the Queen will not be going to the Commonwealth Day service. I knew she was not going to do so. They would still they're still trying to make out that she's okay. Little Bell Grant, I saw that pop up on the corner of my computer, in the news feed. And it, like you said, it's no surprise. I didn't for a moment think she was going to go. The only way the Queen could go to the Commonwealth service is most likely in a wheelchair, and that's just a fact. She said she could barely move the last time that she was there. The Queen has done very well, and I'm not trying to make fun of her or anything. The Queen has done very well that she has lived as long as she has, and the fact that she's been able to walk freely up until this point is nothing less than amazing. Okay. I mean, people are living longer every day. However, the Queen health is obviously in decline, and she will be unable to walk the aisles of Westminster Abbey to get to her usual position. And so, to avoid any scene of the Queen using a wheelchair, it's probably easier for her to just not show up. So, I had no inkling that the Queen was going to show up for that occasion. And so, why they waited this long to say so is a mystery, but I just didn't think it was possible. The Queen is not, she's not likely ever to be fit enough to do something like walk the aisle of Westminster Abbey or any place else. So, yeah, and it's just a fact, and I'm not trying to speak ill or put a spell on her or something like that. But I mean, we've seen the videos, we've noticed that, and plus, she just got over the pandemic. She just got over the pandemic. So, how would that be possible? It's just not. They're trying to change the trajectory, uh, bad press, so that they could throw Harry and Gangsta Gang Gang in the mix. Absolutely. Let me see. Richard Palmer called Meghan a liar when she said she forgot about an email that was deleted from her photo. But he's not lying when he said that he misheard. Exactly. Exactly. So, moving right along, that is what was supposed to have been the very, excuse me, cheeky kiss that did not happen. So, Richard Eden, there's the other Richard. There's Richard Eden, Richard Palmer, and Dickie Arbiter. All of these Dickies always seem to find themselves um, in it. I genuinely worry that Prince Harry and Meghan's criticism of unnamed racehorse royal has increased the danger. This is what happened when you could just sit around and think of stuff to say. When I sit around and think of stuff to say, at least I could think of something funny. But these people, they think of stuff that put other people at risk. And I don't think making fun of the Queen's bed box puts her at risk. This genuinely puts the Sussexes at risk. Let's see. Security needs to be stepped up as a result. And so, as a result, what did I just say? You squaddies, you did it. If it wasn't for the squad, the whole thing about this William affair scandal wouldn't have much footing. But the Twitter warriors went on the attack, and they brought out receipts. They brought out the news. They made it go mainstream. That's what the squad does. So because of that comment that he made, all of a sudden it was like a tide of speculation about William's relationship with the Duchess of Doolittle. You all did that. So give yourselves a hand because you all did that, especially the people on Twitter, all of the social media, even TikTok. You all made this happen. That which they worked so hard scapegoating the Sussexes to avoid. signing an invisible contract to avoid. All of that was undone, all because of Richard Eden and his tweet that set off a firestorm. So, Richard Eden, Richard Palmer, you guys, you just keep messing yourselves up, and by misrepresenting things and trying to I guess push these narratives on the Sussexes, what happens is you awaken a bear. You have suddenly awakened a sleeping bear, a sleeping giant called the Sussex Squad. And we started calling people out. Next thing you know, William had a very miserable New Year. He had like the worst New Year ever. And that was all because of the Sussex Squad. Richard tried to blame the squad for a tweet against him, but it didn't stick. Of course it didn't, because they're their own worst enemy. That's right. Give yourselves a hand, because you all did that. You all did that by calling him out and reminding people that he was the one who started this whole thing about the Duchess of Doolittle. Well, actually, not the Duchess of Doolittle, but about the Rose Garden. That was Richard Palmer who started that. That was Richard Palmer. What was it? An article was it that he wrote, or a tweet that started the whole thing? And so when people read that thing about the stepping up the security, the um, what do you call it? The Sussex Squad went ballistic. Yep, don't mess with the squaddies. Exactly, Lynn. He did that. He did that. He's the one that caused all that trouble for William at the end of the year. Why are these old men batching a young person just because they are close to the royal family? Let me see. These old men must ask Meghan and Prince Harry for forgiveness and go roll their rosaries. Absolutely. They didn't want Harry attending anything in the UK because the British media will focus on Harry and forget about the rest of the unroyal clan of clowns, misfits. Okay, I believe William didn't cheat on Kate, and they tried to sweep it under the rug. I also believe William is not in love with Kate. That's an arranged marriage. Whatever. I think that William has been getting away with a whole lot, and they have been trying to push the narrative on Harry and Meghan to distract from it. I think William is, well, I can't say that he's guilty of anything because I don't know, but where there's smoke, there's Richard Eden. Prince William is facing a new round of accusations about, see there? A new round of accusations about his alleged affair. On Twitter, in particular, there are no faster way to start a fire than by mentioning Rose Hanbury, Marchioness of whatever that is. Yeah. And how did that happen? Because of a rota, a royal rota. By messing with the Sussexes, suddenly people started asking questions about this. Revealed Prince Harry and Meghan's secret meeting. Oh, yeah, this is Richard Eden. That's Richard Eden's thing there. With Spider-Man star Tom Holland and Zendaya, as film takes in 100 and I don't even, why would you even say how much the film made? Why does the tabloids have to throw money around when it has to do with the Sussexes? They always do that. It's unclear why Harry and Meghan were keen to meet Holland and Zendaya, but they may have hoped to persuade them to take part in one of their media projects. Really? Really? But thanks to the squad, see the picture on the lower right? That's the Sussex Squad reply. The Sussex Squad pointed out that Harry has known this kid for quite some time. Harry and Tom Holland That wasn't the first time they met. There was no secret meeting. The only secret is that it wasn't leaked to the tabloids because there's no leaks in Montecito. What secret? See how they try to provocate things? There was no secret. This is why the squad is still needed. This is why the Sussex Squad is more relevant than ever before. I thought we would be able to take a little rest by now, but no, we can't because of stuff like this, because they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing our faves. And so we have to respond in kind. So true, Baron William has gotten away with a lot. That's why he can't control his mouth. Exactly, because there is no punishment, there's no recourse for him getting things wrong, except for the Royal Rota will work day and night to try to cover up. I mean, I'm so loud and animated today, but I'm just sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm sick of it. Yes, Diane Hawkins, why does it have to be something secret and nefarious and underhanded? Why do they have to keep throwing the price of everything anytime the Sussexes are involved? The Sussexes means that we have to start quoting the price of stuff. They want to create anger and envy. That's why they always mention money and then talk about Harry and Meghan. Yes, it is a very subtle form of brainwashing. Wait, what? Tone deaf Prince William says a racehorse statement and it's the Duchess's fault. A real leader would address this statement like a man and apologize rather than shift responsibility. Yep, exactly. Okay, next. So this is the source of the year-ending issues with William right there. That's the source of it. You'll probably never see these three people in the same space at the same time ever again. Now you may see two of these people in the same space at the same time, but that's only if William is able to pull a Charlie on Duchess Doolittle. Guys, follow that? Only if William is able to pull a Charlie on Duchess Doolittle, meaning that you swap one wife for another wife. You swap one and then you take up another that you really wanted to be with. That's the only way that you'll see William and the alleged other person with him. So, otherwise, these three people will probably never find themselves photographed together again. Okay. Only a few media reported about Mumble's $5,000 blue cashmere jumper. Huh, I'm not surprised. Okay, there's the other Dickie Arbiter, liar. I can clearly say he's a liar. I'm not even going to throw an alleged in there. I'm just going to say it because just like his daughter and two other people, he was caught out lying to those reporters before, I mean, those pranksters before the Oprah interview. It's about time. And notice he's always talking out the side of his mouth. I mean, he didn't laugh so much, the words come out sideways. He didn't laugh so much that he can never project the words directly across the room. All of his words come out like a curveball. They always have to have spin on them and shoot around the room before they get to you, picking up lies along the way. So his lies actually gain lies before they get to your ears. It's about time the Duchess of Cambridge was recognized as a workhorse and not a show horse. It it matters. I mean, it doesn't matter what she's wearing. What's important is what she's doing and why. She's in Denmark. Now he said that, and you know what we all heard? Crickets. Because nobody cared. Nobody knew what she was wearing. I think they mentioned that red jacket one time. And nobody cared about her purse. I still don't know what kind of purse it was. Nobody cared. What's important is she's in Denmark. Dickie, you better go back to what she's wearing because what she has to say and what she does means very, very little. Nobody cares. Nobody's curious and nobody cares. It's deafening the sound of nobody cares. That whole trip to Denmark was confusing because there was really no point but for her to pose and model and look and grin 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 some more and grin, right? And then grin and grin and grin and grin and grin and grin, jazz hand, jazz hand, jazz hand, grin, jazz hand, and then some more grinning, and then she was out of there. That was the whole point of the trip. That was the whole point of the trip to oh, the other thing that she was able to achieve by going to Denmark was she let us know that yes, she does look 50 years old. That we found out. When she stood next to the 50-year-old princess in Denmark, we realized that a 40-year-old Kate looked like a 50-year-old Danish princess. So we learned that too. So yeah, we did pick up something from that trip to Denmark, right? Uh, going down the slide and grinning like a hyena. I heard little about KP Karen in Denmark. Someone says she was showing up to events late and had a bag. I mean, I had a big hole in her. Yeah, I saw the picture of she had a big hole in her hosiery, in her tights, hosiery, whatever. But little else. That was it. Let me see. One thing they haven't tried to say about the Sussexes is that Harry is cheating on his wife, like his dad and brother. Is Let me see. If they try to mess, the squad will rip them apart. Harry and Meghan have true love. Yeah, well, um, I think that that is a lawsuit that they do not want to have. I think that the tabloids do not want that lawsuit unless they had anything to share that was concrete and official. I don't think they want that type of heat on them. I mean, there's certain things that they just don't cross with them, and I think that's one of them. I mean, a lot of things, it seems like it's the worst that they could do, but that one so far, nobody, none of the rota, none of none of any of the people in the media has ever implied that there is a lack of love and respect between them. Now, they try to push this narrative that the Duchess is a bully and Harry's afraid of her and that he's a prisoner or something like that. But that's about the extent of it. So, yeah, I think they don't want to mess with that, and they shouldn't. Okay, liar. A person who tells lies has a reputation as a liar. That would mean is that another Richard? Richard Fitzwilliams? Is that a Dickie? So there's two Dickies. Four Dickies. There's Dickie Fitzwilliams, Dickie Arbiter, Dickie Palmer, and Dickie Eden. That's four Dickies. Yeah, I just realized that. There's four of those Dickies. Uh, they're coming out of the woodwork. Okay, so there's Victoria Arbiter and Ingrid Seaweed. So you got four liars up there right now, four of them. And they lie. They lie. They lied and pretend as though they were at that they seen the Oprah interview and they were paid by the pranksters. Yes, they're all over the place. I mean, they're all over the place. And just lying. Okay, workhorse. So why the haters are saying William and Kate are overwhelmed and Charles is sending the Sussexes a help us line? Well, because the Cambridges, it's not so much that they're overworked. It's just that they're outclassed. They're trying so desperately to prove that they're better than the Sussexes that they are falling all over themselves. Isn't Dickie on retirement? Why he always has a batch of Prince Harry and Meghan? He should be promoting the working royals and not the ones that said they left. Yeah, that they were irrelevant. Okay. Happy birthday, cookies and cream. Happy birthday, Sheriff Cookies and Cream. Okay. Okay, Baron, you need to add Camilla Tommy. Yes, yes, that is implied because we all know I was trying to keep it kind of short today, but since you mentioned East Island head Tommy, yes, that is also a liar. The one who started the whole thing about Meghan made Kate cry. And this is the one who said that they refused that title, the Earl of Dumbarton, even though she had that wrong. And even Robert Jobson had to straighten her out. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Sherry. We would be remiss if we didn't bring her up because she is a known liar. Okay, lying is so ingrained in their brains, it comes naturally to the unroyal family and their racehorse disciples. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, let me get rid of her because I have this thing where when I see liars, I have decided to enhance their features. So I didn't want to leave Vicky out of it. So I made sure Vicky wore the mark of the liar because she lied. Her daddy taught her to lie. Her father taught her the value of being a royal liar. So they lied. They lied. Okay, so that was the end of those slides. I think I got that one. Let's see. Okay, can you believe it? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Okay, Beth Pratt. I had the honor of meeting the Duke and Duchess of Sussex tonight. Wow. When I was a little girl, I got up at 5 a.m. to watch Princess Diana's wedding. To hear Prince Harry speak tonight and shake his hand and see so much of his mother in him was truly moving. You know, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. And I think it is I think it's just wonderful because a lot of us here in the US share that same story about waking up and watching the royal wedding at like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m., depending on where you were located. But yeah, you had to wake up early for the wedding. So I understand exactly how she feels. And I'm so glad that she was able to meet Prince Harry and to have that moment with him, having grown to respect him, based on the love for his mother and to see him grow up as a man. This was a very sweet gesture. However, then you get the trolls. Bev had tweeted a lovely story about meeting Prince Harry and Meghan, and she didn't insult anyone as expected. Single purpose hate accounts swarmed her tweet, and she ultimately deleted the tweet because the harassment was too much to bear. Why is Twitter allowing this to continue? You know, the same way that I told you I can't use the C word for the pandemic, right? The same way I told you I can't use the R word, I have to substitute something. So I say racehorses. They have the technology, to remove or to screen certain things. But for whatever reason, they don't do it. And we know that reason is because it's more profitable to allow the bots and the hate accounts to go after people. Thank you, Chai Latte. Thank you for the super sticker and happy Friday to you. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So yeah, no good deed goes unpunished. A very sweet, tender exchange was turned into an attack. Happens far too often. It turned into some type of attack. And then someone, that same hate account, Christopher Bowsy said, utterly shameful of you. Well, actually, he's not saying this. This is the attack on Bernice King. Bernice King. Utterly shameful of you, Bernice, to exploit a cheap misquote to push your own bias and generational trauma. Are you so used to being idolized that you think you are beyond doing a basic fact check? And that is from the one of the same hate accounts, if not the same hate account. They went after Bernice King because of what William reportedly said in the Ukrainian Cultural Center. This is what happened. They were targeted. They were targeted. Pratt and King were both targeted by trolls. So it's still happening. It's still happening in spite of everything that we know. Those attacks upon innocent people, and of course on the squad, on the squaddies, those things are still happening. So right here, I just want you guys to know this much. Don't despair over this attempt to gaslight us, because here's like 3 stories right here. I didn't even include Jake Tapper's tweet, but um, the story is making the rounds and it's trending like crazy. And William has been found wanting in his character yet again. So it's going to happen again because that's William, and he's going to put his foot in his mouth again, and we'll get a chance to make sure that we highlight, showcase, and scream from the rooftops that he's a racehorse. You see there? That's my receipt. That's my screenshot from the Daily Fail, which said, he said Britons were more used to seeing conflict in Africa and Asia. It's very alien to see this in Europe. We are all behind you, he said, but he added that he, like many, wanted to do more to help. We feel so useless, he said. We feel so useless. Well, that is a monumental understatement, because believe me, when I see these 2 people, that's the first thing I say is, there goes 2 useless you know what's, if I've ever seen them. Now, there go 2 of the most useless, most trifling, most so the issues with Williams' comment is not just related to the obvious bias that he has, but the fact that he said we feel useless is admitting something that we already know, that those are 2 of the most useless, most unnecessary appendages on the face of the earth, and they were doing better when they did less. Now that they're actually trying to work, the real trouble starts. So I think that he's got it right. They feel useless because they are. If you feel useless, you're probably useless. That's all I'll say. So thank you, William, for setting the record straight. Thank you for setting the record straight. Thanks for telling us what we already know. You feel useless because you are useless. So um, thank you for facing the man in the mirror. Uh-huh. Thank God Harry and Meghan are no longer on that island. Yeah, I can't tell you how pleased I am that they don't have to be a part of this, that we'll never have to see the Duchess of Sussex bow or curtsy to the 2 of them in life. And I'm glad for that. I'm so glad. Okay, let me see. I hope Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan overshadow the Unroyals during all their Jubilee celebrations. Just walking down the road should do it. Okay, if they see them stepping out of 31 flavors, that's enough to overshadow them. Okay. Oh, let me see. Let me go back. I think I missed something. Let me. I got to move Tweedledee and Tweedledum. There we go. There's my receipt. I kept my receipt. Did you guys know I have a receipt? I kept my receipt. That's my receipt right there. Do you see my receipt? I kept my receipt. It says UK Home, which obviously comes from the Daily Fail. You can see the, the logo right there. So that's my receipt. That's my receipt. Okay, so warning, these next photos may trigger you, but for the sake of historic reference, I feel compelled to share them. What was that, 2011, when they were making the rounds? Mr. and Mrs. His and Hers, Cambridge's, right? So they made one of those Oceania tours, I think. And there's the people of color. But they weren't the first. There's Philip right there. If you know, Philip is actually regarded as a supernatural being on one of those island nations. But there's Philip. They even made him a little model Britannia to take him around. And what you may not have known, but I'll share this with you. You see the cartoon up there on the left? I made it as small as possible because it will trigger some people, but I made it as small as possible. But that's a cartoon called Tintin. And there he is, the great white hunter amongst the natives. And so when you look at this image, I just want to remind you exactly what it invokes when you see the Cambridges being carried around like some type of deities. These two opted for this situation. However, what may come as a surprise to you, and I only know this because I read it somewhere. I don't know it to be 100% true, but I believe that Prince Charles was offered the same type of honor and he refused. He turned it down because he knew that the optics would cause problems in the future. So even though we like to make fun of Charles, sometimes he gets it right. Sometimes he gets it right. And he realized that for the sake of his own, self, whatever, aggrandizement, that this image would haunt him. So he decided to forego this situation and he just refused to do it. But again, not the sharpest tool in the shed. William is not that bright. Martin Luther Cambridge just always gets it wrong again and again and again. He continues to get it wrong. And so when they made this offer, of course he saw no problem with it. I mean, I'm a future king. Ain't that what I'm supposed to do? And look at Kate just smiling and grinning and clapping her jazz hands. See there? She got them jazz hands going. Yeah. Colonizers at its best. Yeah, they are. Just clapping and waving and grinning. And that grin that William has in particular, where is it at? Let me see. Where can I find that grin? Can you see? Oh, you can barely see it, but yeah, he's got that big cheesy grin of his. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I knew that might trigger some people, but for the sake of historic perspective, I just wanted you to know that that image is very similar to the old cartoon Tintin, which of course you've probably never seen because it is so problematic that you rarely ever find that cartoon anywhere. But the Cambridges are living proof that some people remember. Okay, so that's that for the slides. With that, I will open it up to some comments and hear what you guys have to say. And then we'll do our last word and move on. Okay, let me see what you all got for me. Pie, help me, need one. Okay, let me see. This is why I hope William never gets to sit on the throne as ruler. He'll he'll cause problems. Goldilocks is getting an international roasting. Now he knows what it feels like to be attacked. His racehorse goons, unprovoked, inhumanely and relentlessly attacked Duchess Meghan. Excuse me. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And honestly, before I made this video today, I was just like, do I really want to talk about this for an hour? But then I thought, I'm helping to put the information out there because I don't want people to forget. I don't want this to just melt away. I want to keep the conversation going about this buffoon and his antics, his continuous gaffes, which, don't seem to be unconsciously conceived of. It seems like he gives it a little thought from time to time. So let me see. Yeah, absolutely, Deanna. He can't wait. He cannot wait. That's why he keeps talking about Africa. He loves to talk about Africa because it makes him feel as though he actually has control over something in a very ancient and very, shall we say, um, historically imperialistic manner that he has control over all of the earth or whatever. I don't know. I think they didn't pump that kid's head so much that he has this overblown sense of self-worth and that he somehow believes that he is fulfilling a destiny that is his because of an accident of birth. He thinks that he is supposed, and I think he gets it honestly. I mean, because look at his grandmother. His grandmother really believes that she was ordained, and I promise, be it long or be it short, that I will never leave the throne. Be it long or be it, remember that speech? Be it long or be it short, I promise, Philip. So that's where he gets it from. It's no surprise that that mentality continues today. And then, of course, there's the jealousy. He is really going to hurt himself trying to outdo his brother. That is going to be his undoing, is trying to somehow overcome the, you know, he's going to try to outdo his brother, and that is going to cause him to fail miserably. That is always going to be his undoing. I mean, his undoing is trying to outdo his brother. Yep, that is going to get him every time. Okay, be it long or be it short. And there they are, the co-conspirators at the oh, oh well, at the Commonwealth Day. You know, this was the last time the Queen was going to go to the Commonwealth Day. Is that right there? That's it. Or did she? Did they had another one, right? Didn't they have one during the pandemic? I want to say that they had one in 2021. Or was it 2020? No, 2020 was the one with the Sussexes. And then I think they had something in 2021 and it was scaled back and everything, if I'm correct. So, yeah. Okay. All righty then. Yeah, unfortunately, I could not do any better with that other video. It just was not going to work for me. Yeah, and it's still not working. So, fiddlesticks. Sorry for my language, but yep, did not work. Okay. Okay, let me go to your comments again. I believe William thinks that these are the days of empire when the UK colonized the world quite a bit of the world. Yeah. Yeah, he seems to be living in a fantasy. And just think how many times that he's surrounded by people who laugh at his jokes that aren't even funny. It's a very awkward, uncomfortable laugh, but they do it anyway. They laugh at stuff that's not even funny only because he said it. Just like when he laughed about the pandemic, he said that the media, because according to William, he's probably more intelligent than Jake Tapper. He's probably more intelligent than any of the medical scientists. So when he says that, you know, that they're making that is overblown or they're hyping up the pandemic, of course, that's coming from the voice of authority from a prince of the realm and a future king. So, of course, he knows everything. Exactly, Baron. I believe he has been ordained by God to fulfill his destiny as the king and head of the Anglican Church. Yes, of course, he believes that. Charles believes it. The Queen believed it. They all believe it. And just think, all of those people that have been divorced in that family, including Charles, but Charles is going to head the Church of England as a divorced man with a woman that he allegedly, well, actually, officially had an adulterous affair. What do I mean, allegedly? That he officially had an adulterous affair. He's going to take that adulterous wife of his to the throne. Both of those adulterers, those fornicators, those fornicators are going to sit on the throne. Oh boy. Too much? Too much? Okay. All righty. Well, somebody's got to do it. Might as well be them. Okay, let me see here. And let me take another comment. Let's see. I just read from Omid that Prince Harry will be attending Prince Philip's Thanksgiving service, but says will visit the Queen soon. I'm sorry, will not visit. Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what it said. Yeah, I think I saw that come up too. I get a lot of these updates from the wire while I'm doing the royal concubine. Oh no, what did I just do here? Okay. All right. There we go. I thought I had kicked myself out of the okay. This is why I do not understand why British media do not talk about it. Okay. Well, with that, I think, let me see. He laughed with a group of football friends when the Uber driver delivered. Yeah, I saw that when he delivered the food, and he said that the driver was probably on the ground being frisked or something like that. And they all just sat around and laughed like that was the height of comedy. Nothing could have been further from the truth, but they laughed like that was the height of comedy. I'm like, if that's what you all take for, well, whatever. Something like that, something to that effect. But you know how I like to throw big words around. Let me see. All that came because the king gave up the throne, thus making Elizabeth queen. Yeah, yeah. She should have been just a minor royal who married, you know, probably not a commoner, but probably a cousin. Well, she did marry a cousin, didn't she? Okay, I'm sorry. I saw that. All right. Bellissima is so true. They had to take Princess Diana out in order to have the control and influence over him. Thank goodness Harry did not drink the Kool-Aid. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys. I think we're good. I'm going to take a last word and then I am going to try to sort out lunch. I found like a delicious, what do you call it? There's a jackfruit, curry jackfruit dish that I purchased from Trader Joe's that is awesome. Gosh, it was good. It's like with a coconut milk base, so it's like, I guess it's like a Thai dish, but it's called, it's a curry jackfruit, over jasmine rice, or yeah, I think it's over jasmine rice. So I think I'm gonna have that for lunch. So what are you guys having for lunch? I am going to have the curry jackfruit. It's healthy. It's I think it's vegan, and I'm like the Duchess of Sussex. I'm a bit of a flexitarian, so I don't always have to have meat, but sometimes I do eat something that seems very vegan. So that's what I'm having for lunch. Let me see if I can find a photo of it. I'll share you the photo if I can find it. No, I cannot find it. Okay. Okay. Well, never mind. Yeah, not happening. But yeah, so that's what I'm having. Okay. Why was Kate taking homemade baked bread to Ukraine? Copying again. Well, actually, it was brownies and something loaded with nuts or something like that. But yeah, it was Megan that had the banana bread. But Kate, yeah, Kate was actually just copying the Duchess of Sussex. Message to Prince William: you and your mediocre wife wanted the spotlight. Now you have it. Enjoy. Amy, you better say it. I love that. You just like Amy just don't care, right? We eat jackfruit just like in Jamaica. Never heard of it curried. Really? Oh wow. You know what? I'm telling you, that was, oh, it was so good. Let me see. I'm gonna try one more time to see if I can find the photo. I took a picture of it because I was telling my aunt about it, and she, I don't think she had ever heard of jackfruit before, and she seemed really intrigued. So I told her, I said, "Well, I'll take a picture, and I will send you a photo of it." So it was just a photo of the box that it came in, but yeah, it looked like I deleted that, but too bad. But yeah, jackfruit is good. It has a very meaty texture, and so when you eat it, it's as though you're biting into meat, and you don't feel like heavy and, you know, that overstuffed, I just ate too much meat feeling. It's very light. Some people make fruit salads with it, but I thought it was delicious. So yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I tossed the box, not the box, but the photo I took. But yeah, but if you get a chance to try the jackfruits, it's a frozen curry. It's at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has like the best frozen meals. So when you want to eat something that's got that air of gourmet dish to it, but you don't feel like cooking, Trader Joe's is the place to go. Yep, that is the best place to go. Let me try one more thing here. I'm going to look it up. Trader Joe's. Jackfruit. Oh, wrong keyboard. I keep doing that. See, that's the bad thing about having two computers going at one time. Trader Joe's. Jackfruit curry. That was the first thing that came up. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I'm telling you guys, I know you all think I'm messing with you, but I'm gonna screen share so you guys can see this. Okay. I can't believe it's still like 721 people on here, but I appreciate it. So, window, there we go. Can you guys see it? No, share. There we go. That's it right there. That's the box that it comes in, and I know it looks pretty bad like that, but yeah, it was delicious. But I usually dump it in the plate. I push the rice out of the container with a spatula, and then I put the rest of it on top. But yeah, that's it right there. Yellow jackfruit curry with jasmine rice, Trader Joe's. Let me see if I can find it all plated up. Okay. I mean, yeah, if you look at it like that, it looks pretty rough, but um let's see. Trying to get you a clear image of it, but that's it right there. So that's what I'm having for lunch. Kind of a late lunch, but I'm here. So yeah, Trader Joe's, like my favorite store. Um, okay. Well, this is somebody else's version of it. Vegan curry. But yeah, roughly it looks like that. What are they trying to get me to do here? Oh, there you go. Well, no, mine looks better than that. Mine doesn't have peas in it. It's mostly just red and green peppers, but no, so that's not a good example. But okay, you guys, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna heat that up for lunch. And and I will okay, let me get rid of this screen share before something else comes up. Stop screen share. Cool. And any more comments? Oh, thank you so much for that. Chai latte. Thank you for the super sticker. Happy Friday to you. Many happy returns of the day. Let me see. I'm going to try it. I eat like Jennifer too. Yeah, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Oh yeah, Trader Joe's. I'm telling you guys, if you like curry, go to the Trader Joe's, look in the grocer's freezer at Trader Joe's, and just pick out. They have another one that's like I don't know what kind of fish it is, but it's like some kind of curry fish, and I get that one all the time. So, and I get the frozen naan bread, or yeah, that naan bread. I get the frozen one, or I get the fresh one, whichever is easier for me that day. I'll grab that and heat that in the pan. So, yeah, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Hey, Mo Shannon is here. Mo Shannon is trying to get me to give her my Prime password since she's having so much success with my what is it? My HBO Max. Okay. And yes, and it's Cookies and Cream's birthday. Is there anybody else's birthday? Have a great weekend again. Happy birthday, Cookies and Cream. And let me see, I've been sick. Not much of an Marshar, you've been sick. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, let me tell you something, Marshar. I myself, as you know, I had oral surgery the other day. So I was trying to hold out on the antibiotics because you know they say that we take too many of them. And I've been sleeping a lot the past couple days. So I think that is an indication that I do need the antibiotics. So I started taking them this morning. Um, I tried not to take them, and I was doing very well, but when I started sleeping a lot and I still got that really bad taste in my mouth, I'm just like, okay, it's time to push the antibiotics. So I tried, you guys. I tried. They said, they always say that we take too many antibiotics, and I tried to avoid them, but I ain't trying to be no hero. So I am going to have my antibiotics so I can get my energy and my well being back because I have been sleeping more than normal, like twice as much, and that's unusual for me. Okay, cookies and cream, another birthday greeting. Okay, so any other comments? Anybody have any scathing criticisms for the Cambridges? I'm here for it. I always make myself available for criticisms of the Cambridges? Anybody? Nothing? Come on, you gotta have something. Anything. I'll take it. Anybody got something to say to jazz hands? Come on, y'all been petty for about an hour and a half. Don't stop now. Oh boy. I've been having too much fun with them lately though. Let me see. Okay, okay, you guys are on your best behavior, so all right, never mind. Nothing? What about you, Daniel? Anything you wanna let me see. I make a fabulous non-bread baron. Oh, nice. Nice. I've never made it from scratch, but I don't know. I'll probably check out a YouTube video and at least try it once and see how it goes. Oh. Is it really? Is Edwina's birthday today? Oh my goodness. I wonder if she got the maxi out for the occasion, huh? I wonder if she's gonna go strutting into a restaurant wearing that maxi. Happy birthday, Edwina. Many happy returns of the day. Yes, I didn't know that. That is, of course, the Queen's youngest child, Edward. Edward, is very liberated, and so he found a partner who lets him express himself with that maxi and that very flirtatious leg showing like that. So God bless the Wessexes, as I say in my most sarcastic tone. God bless the Wessexes. Prince William knew for sure that Harry is intelligent and would be useful for him, but he allowed the media to pull them apart. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He should have been more supportive to his brother instead of trying to dominate and subjugate him and treat him like he was some kind of flunky. If he would have been more of a, or should I say, if he would have allowed Harry to be more of a partner to him with his royal duties coming up, he would be so much better. I mean, Harry could have stayed there and helped for years while his children were old enough to take part. But because they mistreated Harry, then Harry just decided, you know what? Life is too short. Okay. Very yummy. I eat fish now too. I had mackerel earlier in the week. Cool. All right, you guys. Oh, Angela 11, huh? Okay, let me see what I can do. Angela 11. Okay, okay. All right. I mean, I just can't do Angela 11. Angela 11 has to evolve organically. I can't just, I mean, I can't. I can't. I can't. Okay. Meghan is a Hollywood actress, and she probably wrote the article about Prince William herself, and somehow she managed to FedEx it so that it would be in the morning papers in Britain. Because, I mean, after all, she's a very Hollywood actress, and she's always, it's really Meghan's way because Harry doesn't really have a say. I think it's only if Meghan will allow it. Okay, that's the best I could do right now. That grifter. It's frustrating to see the pathetic cover up is working with the brain dead trolls, etc. in the UK. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? They have managed to cut and cover. I eat a lot of curry myself. I love curry. And anything I eat with curry, one of my favorite things to do is to take a twist of lime and just squeeze a little lime juice on it. It always seems to just wake up the flavor. So if you eat any curry dishes, try to add a twist of lime to it, and especially if you're trying to cut the salt in your diet. They said that lime has like this very same flavor notes. So rather than using salt to enhance the flavor, I mean, you could put it on just any kind of meat. It won't ruin the taste, I swear. And you just put a little squeeze of lime on it, and it just wakes up the flavor. So I usually have a twist of lime with my curry. I just think jealousy does not breed good things. William is too jealous of his brother's fame, and he just can't stand Meghan. Why? He's obviously very temperamental and envious. Very, very true. Hi, Charlotte. Les médias britanniques, les uh, okay, so Charlotte is saying that the media in Britain is le has a vendetta. I probably got that all wrong. But anyway, yeah, because of my oral surgery, my French is a bit off. Oui? Très bien. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Charlotte. And let's see, the firm separated Harry from William, and he is too darn dumb to realize he has lost his best support. The firm's racehorses has destroyed their relationship forever. Yes, Reba, that is very true. I think that Harry was excused and sent into the other room, and that the Queen and Charles put all of these ideas and thoughts in William's head, and now he's just not much use to anyone. Let's see. Before you go, Baron, tell us the story about Europe. I need to take a nap to sleep my sickness away. Okay. So I told you guys last time that I might share my story from Eastern Europe with you, and this one was in Budapest. Okay. So I took the train to Budapest, and I slept most of the way there. So, as you know, I was doing like a 32-day trip at that time, not 64-day trip. This was a 32-day trip with my rail pass. And so I needed to go to, I believe it was called the Kalati station in the city center of Budapest. Now, the only reason why I went to Budapest, it wasn't even on my itinerary. I just decided to go because um yeah, I just like the name Budapest, so I went, right? So when I got off the train, the lady came back there from the train, and she woke me up and she's like, "Do you need this station or the Kalati station?" But she said it wasn't in English, it was in Hungarian, I guess. And I didn't understand what she said. So I said, yeah, it's this one. So I grabbed my backpack, I jumped off the train, and I went out to the platform. When I got out there, I looked around and all I saw was these old Soviet era, like non-defined, non-ornate, just huge blocks of flats, one after the other. And I said to myself, oh Lord, I done messed up. I'm at the wrong station. So as I walked toward the stairway to go downstairs to like the main area of the train station. Now, picture it, there's this long hallway. So when you get off the train, it's an elevated platform. When you get off the train, you go down the steps, and there's this long hallway that leads out to the buses and the taxis. So I didn't even get a chance to get far. I get down the steps, and this taxi driver is like, do you need a taxi? Do you need a taxi? I said no, because I have this thing about taking taxis when I'm not in a country where I feel as safe as I should, right? And especially in this area, I'm like, no, I don't need a taxi. And he said, oh, you must need one. He said, because there's nothing else around here. and I could take you to the city center for whatever he said in euros. I said, no. I said, I don't need a taxi, and even if I did, I'm not going with you. So then um, he was trying to pressure me, and when I looked down the steps, because I walked back up the steps by the time he started talking to me, I'm just like, I got to take the train to the next station. So whichever train comes, I'm just going to catch it. That's what I'm thinking to myself. And this guy is like in my ear trying to convince me to get in his taxi. I'm like, no, I'm not going with you. And so I looked down the steps, and I think this was like his teenage son or something. But there was a kid down there, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is a setup. So I'm just like, oh. When the train comes, I hop on the train, and they yelled at me and told me that I couldn't take the train to the next station. And so I'm like arguing with them, and they were just like, no, you can't do it. So I go back downstairs and I tried to buy a bus ticket, but I had all these euros, and the only way to get to my euros were to get to my money belt. And I just did not have enough money to buy a bus ticket. So I went back upstairs and I tried to catch the next train. And the taxi driver is still following me. I mean, at this point, it's not just bizarre, it's just frightening at this point. And in that long hallway downstairs, there was like this little flea market that the local people set up where you could buy old shoes, you can buy bananas. They have this thing in Eastern Europe where, at least back then, where they would set up a banana scale and they would weigh the bananas and sell them to you. And I guess there must have been like a tax or a duty on bananas that made them expensive. So what you could do is buy these black market bananas from people on the street, which I did every chance I got. Not that I was even hungry, but I just wanted to feel like I was doing something sneaky and against the government. So I would buy them too. So there's all this stuff going on downstairs. The taxi driver is following me, and there was even a kid selling tools, and he's holding up a chainsaw smiling at me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get killed. So when I get upstairs, I try to take the next train to the downtown of Budapest. And again, they yelled at me and told me to get back off the train. And so I'm yelling at the lady from the train. The taxi driver is trying to urge me to get in his taxi. And then there was like a little crowd that gathered, right? And in that crowd was a voice of humanity, an angel sent from above. I heard this lady say, where are you trying to go? And I just looked at her. I said, oh, I'm trying to go to the Kalati station and they won't let me do it. And so I'm just arguing again. And then she said, but where do you need to get to? I said, the Kalati station. And she said, okay, okay. I understand. She said, I know it's stupid, but they won't let you take the train to the next station. She said, I'm going to give you this bus ticket. You go downstairs and you catch like the number 3 bus, and that will take you to the Kalati station. And so I was at that point, something told me, I don't know, I guess it was God just said, listen to this lady. She's not in on the setup. Listen to her. So I took the ticket and I said, well, I got some US money. She said, I don't want your money. She said, I just want you to get there safe. And at that point, my eyes started getting all watery and everything. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I couldn't believe the kindness, the humanity. I'm like, this lady is really trying to help me. So I went downstairs. Taxi driver still following me, but I found the bus and it was raining like crazy. So I couldn't even see out the windows because it was all this condensation on the glass. And so this young couple, and I mind you, this was 2009. This young couple was on the bus and they said, where are you from? I said, I'm from America. And they were like, oh, okay. We like America, so and so and everything. And they were like, where are you going? I said, to the Kalati station. I said, but I'm not sure because I can't see out the window. And they said, well, we'll help you. And so they did. But when they had to get off, then it was like this other lady that was going to take the final ride? And she said, don't worry, I'll make sure you get there. Because they'd said, like, go 3 stops. And at this point, I was exhausted and I wasn't thinking straight. So, the long story short is I finally got to the Kalati station. This lady at the Budapest, in Budapest helped me, which was incredible because without her, I don't know what I would have done that afternoon. I would have had to go dig in my money belt, which I just didn't want people to see me reaching inside my pants trying to find my money belt, and that would have been even more worrying. So, um, so thank you for that. And I got to the Kalati station. I found that there was a McDonald's there, so I could regroup with some coffee and whatever I had, and then I went and found the hostel. So that was my story from Budapest. It was kind of scary. I'm not even sure the taxi driver was up to no good, but it just didn't seem right to me. So I didn't want to take that taxi. And so I decided to just, go on faith and hope that something else would happen. And it did. So that lady reached out to help me, a stranger, and she didn't want any money for it. She just wanted me to be safe. So that was my story from Budapest. Okay. Anybody else? Right. I think Karen has had enough of it. Who was that was trying to sleep? Okay. Did that help? Because if it did, I got another story from Prague that I'll tell you next time that you can't sleep. All right, you guys, that's it for today then. Final thought of the day. I kind of like the one about how handsome I am. That one worked for me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I had, this was like before, like, well, I didn't have a what do you call it? I had a credit card, I had cash, I had like 3 different sources of money. And so I was just, I felt, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just sleepy. Thank you so much, chai latte. I was a little nervous. I was in Eastern Europe, which, as I said, I was very nervous in Eastern Europe. And what happened in Ukraine with the foreigners did not surprise me at all. Although I have to say, I did not feel or suffer or encounter any type of bias that I'm aware of. So I'll just say that. I had a good time in Budapest and I had a great time in Prague. That was like my dream, was to go to beyond the Iron Curtain, if you will. And so I had a great time at both. Okay. Always trust your spiced sense, right? I had the same experience in France. Well, Bright Eyes PB&J, thank you. And I definitely can attest to that you have to go with your gut. But sometimes, some places, I just don't trust the taxis. All righty then. Well, that's it for today. I'm going to leave that as our final word of the day. And we are going to ginger adventure ourselves out of here. And I'm going to have lunch. And later, I'm going to have my second round of antibiotics so that I can get my strength back. And but you know what? I don't even feel like as worn down as I felt once I start doing the live stream. It's like suddenly I have a burst of energy, and then after lunch I'll probably nod off for a while. But yeah, thank you guys. You complete me. All right, so love you all. Ginger Avenger, and we're out of here. Oh, I almost forgot to turn. I almost forgot to turn the thing off. How many people still in here? Wow, 530. You know, I almost forgot to turn off the live stream. I'm glad I didn't say anything for that would have been too much for sensitive ears, but that all. Oh, you're still on here. Wow. Yeah, I'm you know what? I started looking at my phone because I turned my phone off. And once I started looking at the phone, I'm just like, oh, that's still going, isn't it? So okay, this is it for real this time. All right, thanks guys.